Well, 5 days on from the U.S. elections, Donald Trump's landslide victory is confirmed. With all votes in the battleground states now counted, the president-elect has won the swing state of Arizona, bringing his total number of electoral votes to 312 against Kamala Harris's 226. He not only won in more than half of the country's 50 states, but he also flipped some key battleground territory that had even voted for a Democrat in the last election. Well, for more on this, France 24 journalist Andrew Hilliar joins me on set. Hi, Andy. So Donald Trump, he already had a landslide victory. He now has 11 electoral votes from Arizona. Why is this more than just a symbolic win for him?
Yeah, I mean, so this giving Trump his clean sweep of all 7 battleground states, as you mentioned there. Arizona back in 2020 voting for Joe Biden. This is the second time Trump has won the state. He won it in 2016 as well. A very important state for both candidates. Independents make up a third of the voting bloc in the state. So both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump had crisscrossed the state several times before Election Day, trying to get voters, rallying them to their cause. The other reason Arizona is quite significant is because it is a state, a divided state that may very well find itself on the front line of Trump's controversial border policies. Voters in the state have consistently ranked immigration and border security as top concerns. They disagree as to how about handling those issues. Trump has promised mass deportations and a major crackdown on illegal crossings. Just to give us some idea of figures here, some 11 million people are living in the US as undocumented immigrants. Now, nearly 4/5 of those have been in the country for more than a decade. They have a right to due process. So any attempt at mass deportation would involve a massive backlog in the court. So you're going to see a lot of legal challenges here. As well as that, you have these so-called sanctuary cities, of course, across the U.S., where laws restrict local law enforcement from cooperating with immigration and customs enforcement agents. And it's unlikely those cities, of course, are going to cooperate with a Trump mass deportation plan. So a very important state indeed.
So, Andy, Republicans are very close to clinching the House of Representatives. If that's confirmed, that would come on top of having not only won the popular vote, but also having won the Senate, already having a very conservative Supreme Court. Will there be any checks at all on Donald Trump's administration?
It's a good question, because whichever way you look at it, when Trump takes power in January, he will become one of the most powerful presidents in U.S. history. He's got control of the executive branch. He has control of the Senate, and he may very well get control of the House of Representatives. He can claim democratic legitimacy based on the fact that he has won the popular vote, which he didn't get in 2016. So what are the restraints? Normally tradition dictates that the greatest inhibition to presidential overreach is the president himself. Is Trump capable of showing self-restraint, however? He's entrenched control of his own party. During his first mandate, you had Republicans like the late Senator John McCain, who sometimes hampered his agenda. You are, I think, far more unlikely to see that this time round. There are, of course, the courts. There will be cases lodged against his immigration measures, for example. That can tie up a president for months. However, the Supreme Court, with its conservative majority, is very likely to give Trump a reprieve on that. What about the individual states? Well, under the U.S. Constitution, of course, when a state law comes into conflict with federal law, it's the federal law that prevails. So, and when it comes to political appointees as well, it's very unlikely Trump will appoint officials who confront him like he did the first time round. So a dramatic increase in power, even compared to the first term, I would say.
So, Andy, what do you think there's been more conversations about a recent Supreme Court decision on immunity for Donald Trump. How is this playing into things?
Yeah, so this decision has come back into sharp focus, of course, since President-elect Trump won his electoral victory. This was a ruling that was taken back in July. The court ruled that Donald Trump had absolute immunity from prosecution for actions taken within his core constitutional powers. Then it ruled that he had presumed immunity for a wide range of other acts. Now, the real extent of that immunity is still murky. It's been left to a lot of lower courts to actually define. But, conservative justices who pass this see it as a way of heading off politically motivated prosecutions. But critics view it as heading off another check on a president who may be tempted to see himself as above the law.
Certainly a lot of unknowns then. Andy Hilliar, thank you very much.